All right, let's get started. Um, so we started off strong yesterday, and we had some big runners, which we'll discuss this morning. Hope y'all are having a good week so far and had a great weekend. Again, if you're celebrating Eid Mubarak to you, a blessed Eid to you. All right, so let's get started here, and let let me check on the sound because I know we've been having some issues with sound. So if you're in the Zoom chat, let me know if everything is all good for you, and YouTube, please let me know as well. All right, so let's jump right in. Okay, so NVTS is I see. Let me fix this real quick. Boom. All right, let's do it. Okay, so big picture, not much to cover. Um, Sentiment for stocks has investors have grown comfortable. So that's it. Same messaging as yesterday. We didn't really do much on SPYs or Qs yesterday, and yeah, you just take a look at not much on the daily here, but sentiment has changed from back in February, and we're almost touching those highs. All right, so what are we looking at today? So yesterday we had in our game plan NVTS, and NVTS has continued. It gave us a really good rally. We took some good scalps on it, and then it pulled back, and then it continued this morning. So NVTS is the partnership with NVIDIA, and it had its own catalyst, the semiconductor space. It's a lot of bullish momentum going around that sector. So NVTS is continuing to rise. So we'll keep our eye on it. This morning has just been grinding higher and higher, and we'll see if we can have a setup on NVTS. Okay. All right. Another space, another name that popped up for us actually was a student call out. I didn't cover it on our call yesterday, but we took it in our live room yesterday. One of our members called it out, and then we started to trade it. So this one has risen. I think it rose 600% yesterday, right? Into the close, it kept rising. This morning, popped, gapped up. It faded below VWAP, and now it's approaching it again. So we'll see if we'll be taking moves on KLTO again, or if it's going to short off. So that's another one in the playbook. Okay, all right. Now the quantum space, IONQ, major catalyst on IONQ, and this one rallied really strong on Friday and yesterday pre-market. So rally Friday, yesterday pre-market, and when we were on the call, I said we may have a situation where I'm glad. Thank you all for letting me know. Abdul Rafe, thank you, and Rayson, new IT guy. I just messed with some settings, and I think it was something like the sound interface was going to one of my monitors, something weird like that. But I'm glad it's working now. It wasn't happening on Zoom, but on YouTube it was happening. And Sandy, I appreciate you. Yeah, so we're back. YouTube should be good. Okay, thank you all for your patience. All right, IONQ in the quantum sector. So I said after the big rally, we may have some profit taking. So that's what happened, right? So rally, profit taking yesterday. It was moving sideways. I kept my eye on it, wanted to see if we were going to reclaim VWAP and create the next leg higher, but that didn't happen. So today it's all reactive. Are we going to create the next leg higher? We still have some room to go, or are we just going to continue to move flat, or maybe potentially sell off? So IONQ is on my list. QBTS as well. The quantum space rallied, and QBTS actually a little bit late, closer to midday lunch, actually rallied, and QUBT as well. So these are holding up pretty well. So I'm going to be looking at the quantum names for some opportunity. Okay. All right. Another one that was on our list. Let's talk about we'll get to those that popped this morning. But I wanted to just go with MVTS and then some of the sectors, some of the themes. So quantum, all of those are there. And let's talk about a few that have just been on watch. So TSSI, we traded a few weeks ago, and this one rallied on Friday. I was out Friday. Friday rallied. It dipped on Monday, but it's on an uptrend. So this one, sort of like the quantum names, pulled back, and now it's pulling up. So we'll see if yesterday was just profit taking, and we'll have another leg higher. Okay. All right. PHAT. This one had a decent catalyst, rose Friday, ripped Friday, like 150%. Yesterday was looking at it for a trade. When it pulled up here, we're looking at it right above VWAP. The volume was fairly weak, so I just called. I said, "Hey, look, I'm not gonna enter, pull back." It had an entry pattern here for potential continuation, but the volume on the bull side was just was weak. So stayed out of that and ended up just fading off. Played beneath VWAP, and then now it just moved lateral. So we'll see what happens if it activates or not. We'll see. Okay. All right. RXRX, another name that rallied Friday, Wednesday, pulled back Friday, another leg higher, and then pulled back here. Again, uptrend. This is on an uptrend, just like the others that we discussed. So we'll see if we have a continuation. That Monday action was just a pullback, profit taking, and we'll look for the next leg. So some of these, out of all these that we discussed, I think that some of these that have a longer term catalyst, like there's business developments and new partnerships. They're going to go through these waves, right, where you have a rally. So like if you see this Wednesday, rally, pullback, rally, pullback, and we may have a rally. So this is just price action on the higher time frame, creating swing points. So we'll look at the lower time frame. If we have a break higher, entry for another leg. So that's what we're looking at for those. Can you check NIL? I will. All right. Now let's move to some of the names that popped for this morning. So you may have seen a few. GELS. Some of these that popped this morning, we had good float turnover, low float stock. Catalyst was decent, and it offers some scalps, right? But these are the type that we aren't looking to catch multiple days. If it happens, it happens, like KLTO. But we're looking at edge for the moment. Okay. So GELS was one of those that popped up on scan this morning. I may not even put it in the game plan. I'm just going to set alerts here. Another one, MRIN, was one that popped this morning as well on the scan. Again, these don't have, the catalysts are just decent. Those the types that algos will pull up or will pick up, and then they'll end up fading off. So, we like to take advantage of those for the moment. We catch the momentum, and then we move on. All right, so Plug Power. This is one that obtained $525 million credit facility, $1.7 billion loan guarantee from the U.S. Department of Energy. All right, so that's a big catalyst there. That's a big deal. So this one is a multi-day trade, and it still potentially has some ways to go, and it's lower priced and decently. It's a decent. Let's see. Yeah. So Plug Power, let's put that one on the back burner. The float is really high. I think I misread it this morning. So I'm going to set some alarms, but it's almost $1 billion. So I have to see really good volume and super clean entry for that one. want to buy really low on this one. So if it does a pullback, like a pullback, get in lower for the next leg, then that's what I'd be looking for on that one. Okay. I already talked about KOTO. So KOTO, this one rose 600%. We're going to see what we get on that one. Okay. All right. What else you got? KOTO gels. Yep. I talked about those. NIO. Let me look at NIO. I just want to say I appreciate you all for rocking with me. We have some technical difficulties when it comes to the sound, and we learn as we go. We keep pushing, just like with trading. So thank you all for continuing to show up and participate. I really appreciate it. All right. And this is the last one I'm going to cover, and then I'll look at so the news here on LQDA. This may give us a capitulation type of trade where we broke several levels and maybe an overreaction to the bad news here, to the news that came out, this sell-off. So we've taken these trades a few times. One that stands out is Foot Locker, Mara, more recently. We have this sell-off, so I will be looking for potential turn here if it happens on LQDA. So I'm gonna add that one to the playbook. This one, whenever we see this like such a major drop like this. For example, this happened not for the same reasons, but Tesla dropped with the storm with Elon and Trump, and then we have a recovery. It's not something. Whenever there's a catalyst that isn't, it's not a catalyst that will affect the company long term. It may be a reaction, like a knee-jerk reaction to news that happens in a short amount of time. Typically, we have a bounce. So I'm looking for. It's a different type of setup. It's not a momentum setup. This is more of a mean reversion, and we're looking for the rubber band to snap back in the other direction. Okay, so that's one that we may take together on the live. We'll set alarms here to see if we can reclaim some of these areas. Volume comes in, and we may take this. All right, so what else we got? Let me look at, so NIO. Here we go. I don't see anything on NIO right now that's apparent to me. All right. So is trading the pre-market with micro pullback strategy better than waiting for the open? You have to find them. You find them in both, but it happens a lot in the pre-market though, for sure. So it's been a minute. Did you ever do the video about the level 2? I didn't do. If you take out the video on supply and demand, I'm talking about the principles, and then I'm going to do a part 2 soon that breaks down everything I'm speaking about. But we'll use the level 2 to show the technical. So check out the video on supply and demand, the most recent one. How are you finding these tickers? What is the news feed from? The tickers are from Trade Ideas, the scanner. So I'm using the scanner, and then also, you can use Bloomberg. There's a guy that if you go on X, if you want like if you want to use a free news source, there's a guy. Just type in type in Bloomberg terminal on X, and this guy he does a lot of free releases on X. Really good news there. You can use news filter for specific filters, but I would start with the scanner if I were you. Start with the scanner. trade ideas. Watch my video on stock selection. Okay. Xena. So Xena was in play for us a few times. Um, Yesterday, it pulled up and ended up fading. I keep it on the back burner. Xena, it's holding up pretty well. So let's see if we can break out. Yeah, see if we get volume on Xena, and we can break out of this level. This was yesterday's high. Here. Yeah, so this is yesterday's high. Let's see what happens here. It's trading within yesterday's range. So let's see if maybe we could, if Xena will break out or not. Okay. All right. This one is pretty expensive. INSM. Expensive relative to our group's stocks. Our group normally trades together. Okay. All right. Talk to me. What else you got? How do you program scanner to look for stocks with catalysts? So actually, that would be a little bit more complex. So typically, if the stocks are up 10% or more, then there's some sort of catalyst or elevated volume. So that's the easiest way to get to those stocks that have news or that have a catalyst. In trade ideas, there's a scanner. It's up after earnings or down after earnings. So that's one where you can find stocks that have earnings, and you can see stocks that are up or down based on earnings. So I have a whole list here. Skillsoft, this one is up 15%. KSY, I'm CASY, this one is up after earnings 13%. So I can see, I have a whole list of them on the scan. DBI, this one is down down 20%. LA Lake. So Lake, this one is down after earnings 17%. So you can look at those that way from the scan. But it won't cover all the catalysts. Something like that would have to be done customly. But I don't think you need that level of customization until you've maximized you have to maximize just trading what's up 10%. I think that will be good enough. Or looking at what's up 10%. Okay. All right, y'all. So let's yesterday I've been using the Stream Deck, and I love this thing. It's amazing. Finviz. You know what, Yusuf? Finviz is a good option. I just never use it for real time, so you guys would have to let me know how that works out. Been following Abdur. I'm gonna do a like my story video. I'm gonna do a video just covering the last 5 years, Abdur. So I wish I would have started with stocks from the beginning. Skipped everything else. I'd be way further than I am now if I would have started stocks from the beginning. So everything has changed and improved and increased. Some of the guys that started when I started, I mean, comparison is a thief of joy, or not all the way. You have to do some sort of comparison to see where you are, but not comparing in the negative. I'm just doing an analysis. Some of the guys that started 5 years ago started stocks with me while I was starting Forex. guys are way ahead of me because they were developing. I mean, stocks, just so many more opportunities, and we can flip our capital and use our time more efficiently. So wish I would have started, but I'm gonna do a video pretty soon. I'll just drop all the things that have changed, where I am now, all of that. I'll go through, from the forex space, the futures and evals and payouts, and then to stock earnings and all that. I'll do a video on that. Okay. All right. So hope y'all have a good day. Let's kill it. Again, you just need to get better 1% every day, right? If you do better than you did yesterday, you document the things that you need to work on, and you fix those things. You work like hell to fix those things, right? Fix them, fix them, fix them. Don't make the same mistakes over and over and over for months. Fix the mistakes, and you can select the proper stocks. You know what setups to trade, master price action, volume analysis, and order flow. That's it. After that, it's just scaling. That's become consistent, and then you just scaling. You just putting more size on your trades. Okay, all right, and adding to your playbook. That's it. Like this LQDA trade. That's just a totally different trade than we normally. But it's a trade that I have in my playbook. I may not pull it out all the time, but when it's there, and it gives us what we need. It's another additional source of income. Basically, each playbook trade is a different source of income for your trading business, that you just continue to add more sources of income, or you scale the ones that are working very well. All right. Okay. All right. I hope y'all have a good day, and talk to you later. Thanks a lot. All right. Bye-bye. All right. We're going to be on the Zoom. So if you're on YouTube and you're in the ProfitX community, join the Zoom. Go ahead and join the Zoom, in the Zoom links channel. I just we dropped the link, so we'll be moving over there. Okay. All right. Thanks.